In this video, we're going to talk about the fundamental arithmetic properties. Fundamental arithmetic properties are the basic rules that explain how numbers work during operations like addition and subtraction. There are 5 fundamental arithmetic properties we need to learn about. They are the commutative property, the associative property, the distributive property, the identity property, and the inverse property. First, let's learn about the commutative property. Let's say 2 friends have a few bars of chocolate. The first friend on the left had 2 bars of chocolate, and the second friend on the right had only 1 bar of chocolate. If we add all the chocolates together, we'll get a total of 3 bars of chocolate. Now, let's say the 2 friends exchanged their chocolates. So the first friend now had only 1 bar of chocolate, and the second friend now had 2 bars of chocolate. If we add both friends' chocolates again together, we will still have the same 3 bars of chocolate in total. This is called the commutative property. The commutative property allows you to swap the positions of the values and still get the same answer. In our example, we saw that even after swapping the chocolates, the total stayed the same. We still had 3 chocolates in all. Now let's apply this with numbers. Let's say we had 3 plus 2. If we add these numbers, we will get 5. Now let's swap the position of the numbers. So this time we have 2 plus 3. If we add the 2 to the 3, we will still get 5. This is because with the commutative property, changing the order of the numbers doesn't affect the result. You'll always get the same answer. Let's take another example. Let's say we had 10 plus 4. If we add the numbers together, we will get 14. And if we swap the positions of the 10 and 4 and add them again, we will still get 14. Note that the commutative property only works when adding or multiplying numbers, but it doesn't work when you subtract or divide them. For example, let's say we have 6 minus 4 as our problem. If we solve this, we will get 2. Now let's swap the positions of the 6 and the 4. So we have 4 minus 6. Now if we solve this, we will get -2. Here, the answers are different, so the commutative property doesn't work for subtraction. Now, let's see how the commutative property works with multiplication. Before we do that, please encourage us to post more videos by liking and sharing. Don't forget to subscribe and become a member for more exclusive content. Let's continue. Let's say we have 4 times 3. If we solve this, we will get 12. Now let's swap the positions of the 4 and the 3. Again, if we solve this, we will still get 12. So the commutative property works for multiplication. Now, let's do an example for division. Let's say we have 10 divided by 5. If we solve this, we will get 2. Now, let's swap the positions of the 10 and the 5. Again, if we solve this, we will get 1/2. Here, the answers are different, so the commutative property doesn't work for division. Now let's talk about the associative property. Note that, just like the commutative property, the associative property works for addition and multiplication, but it doesn't work for subtraction and division. Now suppose we have 2 apples, 3 bananas, and 1 orange, and we want to add them together to find the total number of fruits. To do this, we can first add the 2 apples and the 3 bananas by grouping them together. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Next, we can add the orange to the 5. So 5 plus 1 would give us 6 fruits in total. Now what if we added the fruits a little differently? Let's take another look at the same fruits and try adding them in a new order. We could have grouped the 3 bananas with the single orange to add them first. So 3 plus 1 would give us 4. Then we add the 4 to the remaining 2 apples. This would give us the same 6 fruits in total. Notice that, although we grouped and added the fruits in 2 different ways, we still arrived at the same total of 6 fruits. This is called the associative property. For the associative property, no matter how we group the values, the answer stays the same. Let's try another example, but this time with numbers. Notice here that the numbers on the left side and right side are the same. However, on the left side, the 5 is grouped or associated with 2. And on the right side, 2 is associated with the 4. Here, the parentheses show the grouping or association. Now, according to the associative property, even though both sides have different arrangements of the parentheses, they are still equal. So, let's verify this. Note that because of the order of operations rule, we must work on the numbers inside the parentheses first, before anything else. So for the left side, 5 plus 2 is 7, and 7 plus 4 is 11. For the right side, 2 plus 4 is 6, and 6 plus 5 is 11. Notice here that the answers are the same. Now, let's see how the associative property works with multiplication. Let's say we have the following problem. Here, on the left side, the 4 is associated with the 2, and on the right side, the 3 is associated with the 4. According to the associative property, both sides are equal. So, let's verify if this is true. For the left side, 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 3 is 24. For the right side, 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 times 2 is also 24. So the answers are the same. Note that the associative property only applies when you're using the same operation throughout. So, if it is multiplication, it must be multiplication throughout. And if it is addition, it must be addition throughout. As soon as you mix the operations, the associative property no longer applies. For instance, let's say we have the following question. Here, there is both addition and multiplication. So their answers would not be the same. For the left side, 5 times 4 is 20, and 20 plus 6 is 26. For the right side, 6 plus 5 is 11, and 11 times 4 is 44. Notice here that the answers are different. So, the associative property will work for addition and multiplication problems, but never for the mix of the two. Next, let's talk about the distributive property. To learn about the distributive property, we'll look at some examples. So, let's say we have 4 times 7 plus 3. There are two ways we can solve this. The first way is to add the 7 and 3 together before multiplying the result by the 4. So 7 plus 3 is 10, and 10 times 4 is 40. The second way we could solve this is to use the distributive property. To do this, we distribute or multiply the 4 by each number in the parentheses before adding the results together. So 4 times 7 is 28, and 4 times 3 is 12. Next, 28 plus 12 is the same 40. So, with the distributive property, we can multiply a number by each value inside the parentheses and still get the same answer as if we solved inside the parentheses first, then multiplied. Let's do another example. Let's solve 2 times 30 plus 5 using the distributive property. So, we'll multiply the 2 by the 30. This will give us 60. Then we multiply the 2 by the 5. This will give us 10. Next, we'll add the 60 and the 10 together to get 70. Note that the distributive property will still work, even if the operation in the parentheses is subtraction. So, let's do another example. Let's say we have 5 times 12 minus 4. 5 times 12 is 60, and 5 times minus 4 is minus 20. Next, 60 minus 20 will give us 40. Let's do one more example. Let's say we have 2 times 8 minus 3. 2 times 8 is 16, and 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. Next, 16 minus 6 will give us 10. Note that the distributive property does not apply if the numbers in the parentheses are being multiplied or divided. Another thing we must know about the distributive property is that it is very useful when multiplying large numbers. For example, let's say we have 5 times 26. To solve this, We can first break up the 26 to become 20 plus 6. So we have 5 times 20 plus 6. Now we can use the distributive property. 5 times 20 is 100. And 5 times 6 is 30. Next, 100 plus 30 is 130. Let's do another example. Let's say we have 7 times 99. The 99 is the same as 100 minus 1. So, we have 7 times 100 minus 1. 7 times 100 is 700. And 7 times minus 1 is minus 7. Next, 700 minus 7 will give us 693. Now let's talk about the identity property. Note that the identity property only applies to addition and multiplication. The identity property is very simple and it has numerous applications in math. For addition, the identity property states that any number plus 0 will equal that same number itself. For example, 8 plus 0 will equal 8, and 5 plus 0 will equal 5. Next, for multiplication, the identity property states that any number multiplied by 1 will equal that same number. For example, 12 times 1 is 12, and 7 times 1 is 7. Finally, let's talk about the inverse property. Just like the identity property, the inverse property only applies to addition and multiplication. For addition, the inverse property states that any number plus its inverse or opposite will equal 0. For example, let's say we have the number 3. This number plus its opposite will give us 0. The opposite of 3 is negative 3. So 3 plus negative 3 will give us 0. Let's do another example. Let's say we have the number 4. The opposite of 4 is negative 4. So 4 plus negative 4 will give us 0. Let's do another example. Let's say we have negative 21. The opposite of negative 21 is positive 21. So negative 21 plus 21 will give us 0. Again, let's say we have negative 17. The opposite of negative 17 is positive 17. So negative 17 plus 17 will give us 0. Next, for multiplication, the inverse property states that any number multiplied by its reciprocal will equal 1. So before we solve some examples, let's talk about reciprocals. Let's find the reciprocal of the number 3. To find the reciprocal, first note that all integers have an invisible denominator of 1. So 3 is the same as 3 over 1. Now to find the reciprocal, all you have to do is to swap the positions of the 3 and the 1. So the 3 will go to the bottom and the 1 will come to the top. Therefore, the reciprocal of 3 over 1 is 1 over 3. Let's do another example. Let's find the reciprocal of 5. First, let's bring the invisible denominator of 1. So the 5 is the same as 5 over 1. Next, we'll swap the positions of the 5 and the 1. So the 5 will go to the bottom and the 1 will come up top. Therefore, the reciprocal of 5 over 1 is 1 over 5. Now let's apply our knowledge of reciprocals to solve examples that demonstrate the inverse property of multiplication. Remember, we said earlier that any number multiplied by its reciprocal will equal 1. So, let's say we have the number 5. This 5 has an invisible denominator of 1. The reciprocal of 5 over 1 is 1 over 5. Now let's multiply 5 over 1 by 1 over 5. When multiplying fractions, all you have to do is multiply the numerators together. Then you multiply the denominators together. So 5 times 1 is 5. And 1 times 5 is 5. So we have 5 over 5. Now, since the numerator and denominator are the same, the 5 over 5 simplifies to 1. Let's do another example. Let's say we have the number 7. This 7 has an invisible denominator of 1. So it is the same as 7 over 1. Next, to find the reciprocal, we swap the position of the 7 and the 1. So the 7 moves to the bottom and the 1 comes up top. Now we have 7 over 1 times 1 over 7. So we can multiply. 7 times 1 is 7. And 1 times 7 is 7. Next, 7 over 7 simplifies to 1 whole. Let's do another example. Let's say we have -4. The -4 is the same as -4 over 1. Next, to find the reciprocal, we swap the positions of the -4 and the 1. So the -4 moves to the bottom and the 1 comes up top. So we have -4 over 1 times 1 over -4. -4 times 1 equals -4. And 1 times -4 is -4. Next, -4 over -4 simplifies to +1. Let's do one more example. Let's say we have 2 over 3. This time, even though we have a fraction, the inverse property still applies. First, we'll find the reciprocal of the fraction. To find the reciprocal, we swap the positions of the 2 and the 3. So, the 2 moves to the bottom and the 3 comes up top. So we have 2 over 3 times 3 over 2. 2 times 3 is 6. And 3 times 2 is also 6. Next, 6 over 6 simplifies to 1. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more. Check out our other math videos on YouTube. Don't forget to visit ultimatealgebra.com for our complete math and algebra course, or become a member for access to exclusive content.